Tomorrow, Unit 2 members, as you know, are going to be debating one of these 5 topics. You don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be completely random. So, we're going to pretend that we're on a talk show. It could be Ellen, it could be Oprah, it could even be Jerry Springer. Make it crazy. I don't care, as long as you stay on point and in character. Project-based learning is essential at any school. Whether the school is a small school, it's a large school, what project-based learning does is it enables students to interact with the material. But it's not enough to just answer the question. You have to imagine that you are that person. Use the quotes, use all the information used during this week, the articles, the study, the working with the partners. Try to figure out what this person would say. Bring their character back to life, bring their ideas back to life. With project-based learning, we're not talking about one single project here. We're talking about a series of scaffolded projects, steps that are going to lead students to a larger question. In this instance, we see students in the computer lab. They're going to be researching the ideas and speeches, primary, secondary sources, both looking at Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Booker T. Washington materials. By scaffolding questions for them to answer when they're doing these readings, it makes sure that students are accountable for the learning. It's the base knowledge place, if we're talking Bloom, that it's going to come from. They cannot synthesize and evaluate the final piece of the project without this base knowledge. So as students get this knowledge, they begin applying it and talking about it with their classmates.
Project-based learning. I think that it is a fantastic experience for students because normally we sit in class writing essays, reading textbooks, listening to our teacher lecture, when we just forget the material in about a day or two. And I think that it's pretty cool that when we get involved in projects such as the one we're doing now, where we are 3 characters, either Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, or Booker T. Washington, and we have to pretend it's a talk show, so we have to be in that character's shoes. And I think that's pretty cool because we actually get to learn thoughts, ideas, emotions on how they felt about a certain subject. So I think project-based learning is a very good idea.
Instead of just reading the textbook, the article, and listening to the lecture and learning the facts and only the facts, we can interact with each other and exchanging ideas.
They get on their talk show and they debate topics such as integration, economic versus political equality, which should come first, whether or not Marcus Garvey's idea of leaving to go back to Africa was a right.
Well, yes, I disagree with Garvey completely. Going to Africa is way unrealistic, and I do agree partially with Booker T in staying in our land because it is an African American, not African, African American. We are American still. This is our land just as anybody else.
And I believe it's amazing. It's great because we have to like picture ourselves in those characters' shoes or in those people's shoes, which indeed were actual real characters and not fictional characters. They actually did something. To picture yourself and see and learn what could have possibly gone through their minds at the time.
That integration is not a meaningful goal. We don't need to fight for equality. We need to be able to gain the respect from the white people that have oppressed us for so long, and fighting for it is just useless at the moment. Not meaning we can't do it eventually, but I don't believe we should focus on integration right now.
Well, I completely agree with Mr. Washington right here, because integration is honestly like, I'm not going to give anywhere to start off. Whites already think we're under them, there's no point. My solution is for us to make our own institution, be able to have black roles and be able to become powerful ourselves so we can become stable, so we can make our own nation.
Know the past, engage the past, and use it to tackle a modern day problem. What would these individuals say? How is life today different than it was then? How did they try to affect change? What can we do now to affect change?
The unemployment rate for African Americans is so high. What do you think the solutions are? How would we fix it? How would these people fix it?
Well, first of all, Booker T will probably try to organize something like a black union, but not to complain about